Hi, this is Meredith Lego. Hope everybody's doing good. And I am doing an entire YouTube channel on Ascension science and the mechanics behind that. And it focuses a lot on the expansion of consciousness and how we essentially start to ascend our consciousness into basically higher frequencies and higher kind of extrasensory perceptions along the way. Or essentially, we're expanding into higher dimensions of consciousness as well. So in this particular video, I'm going to share a channeling that I received from actually a future fractal of consciousness. And it's the first time that I'd heard or connected with this being, and it honestly could have been an aspect of myself as well. It's hard, when it's a fractal. But it's basically a message about, how to connect in with higher aspects of yourself. So if you're interested in starting to do this would be a good topic for you to listen to. And I found it pretty interesting. And I'm probably doing it already. I just don't realize it. But this was explaining, how it occurs a little bit. So let me go to my content. So the message came from somebody who identified as Ishael, Ishaeelle, so Ishael. And essentially the message started, state your intention in all moments to achieve maximum outcomes. Do not hold onto the outcome form. The frequency field holds messages trapped in future times, unfolding the meaning by deciphering the energy. Information exists as light, and light always exists in the field. So that was a pretty interesting message. And the first sentence made sense, and there's more to this channeling, but I want to go back and talk about this. So state your intention in all moments to achieve the maximum outcome. And so I think one thing that I've learned along the way, going back to the very, very first videos that I did, is that thoughts create your reality. And so it's really important when you're about to undertake something to really state your intention behind it, because that can actually put energetic frequency into what you're doing. And then through that, you have the ability to attract essentially the type of other frequencies or matter forms that you would like to experience as you're taking that intention, that sort of particle intentional energy, into physical manifestation. But as with anything, don't hold on onto the outcome of the form, because by doing that, that is a sense of fear, which can create limitation or lack. So that can actually have an impact on, that fear frequency can have an impact on the form that ends up getting created if you're holding on to an outcome. The frequency field holds messages trapped in future times. So what's interesting about this is that it goes back to some other videos I've done, but essentially as you start to get a certain frequency within your field, so frequency is nothing more than vibrating energy, but as you start to get a frequency in your field, you essentially can unlock codes, if you will, to have access to certain information that is all around us in the quantum field. And it's a matter of you basically unlocking the code to be able to, almost magnetically pull it into your field and into your conscious awareness. And they're trapped in future time because obviously you're not aware of them yet. So, they could be out there for somebody else, but they're just not, you're not consciously aware of it. So therefore you could become aware of it in a future time. So unfold the meaning by deciphering the energy. That's really key. And the information itself exists as light, and light always exists in the field. So that definitely references a lot of the videos that I started first in describing about photon and essentially what photons can do to carry and store information, and how that has an impact on the transmutation within your physical body as well. So once that information came in, I essentially asked the question, what's the most optimal way to achieve contact with guardians? And the answer that I got was be open to the form. So in other words, if you have a certain perception of what contact can look like, just let go of that. So, I might be thinking about hearing something, or seeing clairvoyantly an image, or even seeing something poof, into my physical awareness. And what this message is being, just let go of the form. And I think implicitly just really tune into different sensations. So even if you think it's imagination, it's likely a signal that's essentially coming in. So the truth for many is found within. So listen to your own DNA, for they hold the records of your genetic lineage, which is an amalgamation of non-human forms. Within the DNA are the whispers of your past and future. Time-space overlays on itself, and this is how multiple vectors emerge for communication and frequency transmissions. So again, what this being is basically saying is that oftentimes the communication that you might be receiving is actually stored within your DNA records. So your DNA, you're pulling in photon information, but at the same time, your DNA is also storing a lot of information as well. So by doing that, you're essentially your DNA are whispers of the past and the future. So the etheric blueprint that you have is not just your current space-time vector, but you could also be tuning into the space-time vectors of other points of consciousness for your entire sort of what's the right word? Oversoul or monadic station of identity, I guess you could say, for consciousness. And again, space-time overlays on itself. So in other words, there's no time, and through that you have the ability, by sort of, I guess, listening into your DNA, you can essentially tune into the vectors for communication and frequency transmission. So that's I guess technically how it happens. Now, as this message was coming in, and there's still more to it, but as it was coming in, I made a note that I saw a torus field, which is again almost like a donut ring shape of energy that essentially exists around all living beings or entities. So we would have a torus field of energy, electromagnetic field going and running around our physical body and all of our other energetic bodies as well. But I saw that with the 0 point and the multiple timeline space-time points that connect in through the 0 point. Then the message continued to say that two beings achieving 0 time in neutrality fields merge communications through matched frequencies and intentions. So when you seek to communicate with a guardian, you may be crossing time into your future or your past. So if you kind of think about maybe a point in time being a piece of paper, and then another point in time and space being a piece of paper on top of that, and then another point in time and space being a piece of paper on top of that, and let's say there's like a pencil in the middle that's poked through all of them, that represents the 0 point. Essentially, you could be kind of maneuvering transmissions of communications to any of those points of time and space, really through matched frequencies and through intentions. So that's essentially what is happening. And that kind of goes hand in hand, I think, a little bit with, it's a slightly different, but there's some interesting information that I did on a video about telepathy, or 5 forms of telepathy, and how that information starts to kind of come into you. As that was happening, I can't recall if I ever even thought about the idea of intention and frequency as being one of the key things. Certainly intention. So this particular channeling provides a lot of guidance on how it is that we start to do it. So anyway, I hope this added to more of your learning on, basically beginning to use your intention and your frequency and the quiet point of meditation, to be able to start tuning in to other versions of yourself, like listening into your DNA, if you will, at different kind of points of your future and of your past. So with that, good luck with that if you're gonna, test it out a little bit more. And I would love to know any experiences that you have with the comments. So if this information resonates with you, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, to subscribe, because this is the type of information I post around the mechanics of Ascension. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye.